Join Sean and Brad as they talk about sports and share a beer. From the east coast of Canada to the west coast of the United States. Over to you, boys.
Hey everybody, what's up? Sean and Brad, Guys Beer Sports. This episode today, episode 19, brought to you by Flyers Brewery and Restaurant. Hey everybody, located in the corner of Woodby and 20 here in Oak Harbor, Washington. They're still open. They've got great outdoor seating. Today, I'm rocking the Panko Pilsner. It's one of my go-to beers when I roll from Flyers. They got these great little growlers you can take away from there. You can order, eatatflyers.com. On their Facebook page, you can find the link. Weekly specials, takeaways. Their wings are great. They got this primary sandwich that I'll go get at least once a week. So go see our friends at Flyers and support that local business. Sean.
Sounds awesome, man.
Hello, how are you?
I am great, buddy. I don't know if you noticed the beard's starting to grow a bit more. So I'm trying to experimentate here. So I don't know if you can see the handlebars starting to come out a little bit there.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
it was overshadowed by the gray. So maybe
it was.
Clean that up. It's very distinguished, very Sean Connery of you to have that dig in.
Hey, man, we have a really special guest here. So this, not only is he related to me through marriage, but also he's just an all-around super cool guy. And he is a in Cleveland local area, sports videographer. Unbelievable some of the stories that he has, even his own story in order to get the job that he ended up getting, which is a dream job, especially during the time period that he got it. So Jeremy, why don't you come on in, and you're already here, but just unmute yourself and say hi.
Hey, it's good to be here. I really appreciate you guys having me on, for sure.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you,
man. So I just wanted to get into the beer I'm drinking here right now. So as I said, from now until the shutdown is done here in Halifax, I'm going in with Old Biddy's. Okay, so this is the Old Biddy's pumpkin ale called Jack-O-Lantern. She's still in curlers. So they're very close to getting a deal with the NSLC. Once that happens there, that's great for them. Go check them out. They're on 111 Cobequid Road out. And if you're in Halifax area, come on out, check them out. Letting you guys know a deal that's happening there right now, that it's not on any of their websites or anything like that. If you buy 3 of these pumpkin ales, you're going to get 1 free. Okay. So stop in, mention Guys Beer Sports sent me to get this deal. He'll hook you up, old Chris there. Okay. 111 Cobequid Road. Flyers, thank you so much again. Still very excited about that. That is awesome. All right. Jeremy, what are you drinking?
One already,
Yeah. So
Panko Pilsner, if you forgot.
I poured myself a little Christmas ale, Great Lakes. So got to keep it Cleveland out here.
Got to keep it Cleveland, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice and dirty. No, I'm sorry. Oh,
that is one of the things, right? That I'd noticed. I have a couple friends from Cleveland, and it seems to be more Cleveland. Like up here, we're like, Pacific Northwest is a lot, and we'll hear a little bit of LA stuff, but most of it's West Coast. But Cleveland just seems to be Cleveland. They don't really give a shit about anybody else. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tight knit community, even though it's huge. And even I'm more closer to Akron actually, but even Cleveland and Akron, they don't really associate with one another.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed from those things.
Right. Yeah.
It's funny because I know with Cleveland sports, you guys are super into your sport, even though your history, your track record sometimes for postseasons and everything hasn't been the greatest, but you guys are diehards. Like I sympathize as being a Leafs fan since '67, haven't seen the Stanley Cup. So in my lifetime, getting to see 2 World Series and a NBA championship is great. 3 championships. But then when you talk to boys that, that decided they're going to jump on the New England bandwagon, New York bandwagon, and they're all walking around like they got all these champions. Even Seattle, as of recent, with their little Super Bowl win. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
a lot of bandwagons.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Got room for that shit.
Man,
you better talk to me about 1992 if you want to talk about anything over here.
Right. But that's the thing, is that you guys are diehard. Like to sit there and see that documentary I saw on 3030 Believeland just seeing how crazy you guys are, it's like this is a real thing too. Because I remember when we went to the dog pound there to go watch the 0-16 season there, Jeremy.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it's freezing cold. There's like wind from every direction, it seems, and it like changes from rain to snow to hail, and people are still out there, pissed and drinking, and and
paper
it's
bags.
crazy.
Paper bags always crack me up. I always think that's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it was nuts. But the funny thing is like that's 0-16. Yeah. We're now 8-3, and people still bitch. Like, Baker Mayfield's not doing this, or we only rely on the running game. I don't know what it is.
How are you upset about the running game when you have those two running backs? I mean,
two guys are getting over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Right. No. Oh no, they're not upset about it. It's more like we should have more than that. Baker should be Russell Wilson, and we should be, so.
But Baker is not Russell Wilson. Baker Mayfield is what Baker Mayfield is, okay? And basically right now, I mean, it's so funny because I was talking to another buddy of mine that ended up stating that Baker Mayfield's a great quarterback because in college where he played, he had some really good seasons, right? Now, I'm not going to deny that. But his tenure now in the NFL, he's proven that, okay, he's an all right quarterback. He's probably a game manager, if anything. Mm-hmm. I'm not trusting him to lob the ball.
I think that Baker Mayfield's comparison is Ryan Tannehill.
That's a good one.
Exactly.
That's a good one.
Yeah. That's not terrible, right? No. You give him a good running game, and you just, he's got to make a couple plays with his legs. He's got to deliver the ball in time a couple times. If he would embrace that role and not want it, because I feel like Baker, and this is just my view from the other coast, right, is he wants to throw the ball to OBJ and Jarvis and your tight ends and kind of get, he wants to be that guy, right? Like he wants to put up 300 yards a game. He wants to be that guy, but I don't think he's that guy. I think if he buys in, Tannehill was that way early, right? When he was in Miami, and that's where he went. And then now you see him in Tennessee buying in, letting his defense ride, handing the ball off to that monster in the backfield. Mm-hmm. I think Baker, man, you guys could have some real success with that defense you guys have. And if Baker buys in, man.
The problem is, it's like you said, I mean, it's when he thinks he's Brett Favre, which we saw on draft night, if you remember that. Like, he literally is Brett Favre. He's going to give you a touchdown. He's going to give you 3 picks to go with it. So,
I on principle hate Oklahoma quarterbacks just because I hate Oklahoma, and so I've never been a Baker guy. But it's one of those things. I think you guys have an interesting time in Cleveland because you're on the cusp of winning in so many sports, right? You got the Indians are competitive again. Cleveland, the Cavaliers maybe not as much this year, but have been recently, right? And then now your Browns are, you're guaranteed to get at least a 500 record, right? You could have an epic failure out right here and still be, 500, which is probably a win in some world.
It's a huge.
You know what I love, Jeremy, is that you didn't even flinch when he said that. It's like because Cleveland fans are just conditioned like Leafs fans.
Yeah, well, and there's a little bit of parallel. I found a lot of empathy with my Cleveland friends for my Seattle fandom because we've lost teams and we've lost heartbreaking championships and won very little but been competitive and all those things and nothing really shakes you. That's just the thing,
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, Jeremy, I wanted to get into how you got into Cleveland sports video, like a videographer. Like, how did you do that?
Yeah, how did you find yourself in that world?
Yeah, so I started out of high school. I didn't want to do anything other than like cars or something like that. So I worked in retail for a long time, and then ended up just being like, you know what, this sucks. Like, I'm going to go to school and I want to just shoot stuff. I want to be a videographer. So I just worked my butt off and I started doing Kent State, like local basketball, football games, which were awful. And then got some side gigs doing stuff for ESPN. And then, Fox Sports Ohio just kind of called me up and said, hey, would you like to come on and do some freelance stuff? And I'm like, yeah. And that was before I even graduated and everything. So, and then same thing, just kept my head down and grinded and worked harder than all these other young kids that were out there, and met a guy who worked for the Cavs. And he's like, hey man, you need to come work for us and work full time. And it kind of just took off from there, and freelance gigs just kept pouring in.
I want you to tell the time period that this happened here, Jeremy, because if I'm not mistaken, you were filming the World Series when Cleveland was in it, and you were filming Cavs games with LeBron James on the team.
Yeah. So how it happened was I was doing, like I said, doing Kent State stuff. And then somebody said, hey, man, you want to come work some sideline stuff for the World Series? And I'm like, is this for real? Like, heck yeah, I do. So I was there for all of the 2016 World Series. That was awesome. And then that next off season, I'm right there with the Cavs full time. So
yeah, I was pretty upset. I was happy that you were filming this, but I was really upset that your team beat out the Blue Jays there.
Yeah.
LCS.
I tell you what, though, I mean, the way we lost that World Series was awful. I mean, first and foremost, there should have been no rain delay. I think that killed everything.
Well, there's a Cleveland way to lose. That's it.
Well, the whole game we were getting rocked. Yeah. Like Andrew Miller was getting beat up, which wasn't happening at all.
That never happens. Yeah.
And then, we end up having this comeback. And Rajay Davis hits that home run, and that was the craziest moment, I think, of my whole career so far.
Was it hard for you to remain impartial? Or was that not your job?
Yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard to do that. And
I've always wondered that myself, like being at games and watching people work sidelines, and like the guys that trip me out the most are the security guys. Like they'll stand with their back to the field watching the crowd because they're looking for drunks, and I'm like, there's no way. Like I'd be flipped around waiting for someone to be hollering for security before I turn around and react. I couldn't be in the stadium and not watching. You know what I mean?
It's so hard. It's so hard. I think. Well, I've heard a rumor first that if they turn their back to the court or to the field, that they can get fired. Like, when they stand up, they have, So, but I think once you get involved in the craft of what you're doing, the shot and getting that moment that nobody else can get on film it kind of takes first place. So.
Yeah, I've heard that. I have a gift of just talking to people in general, and so we'll go down early for games and post up. And I end up talking to the camera crew 90% of the time. Just because I love that. I think that craft is so cool.
I think it's the coolest thing because you especially when I'm the guy enjoying it at home, right? You're there and you're watching this guy.
Yeah, you get to see all these really cool moments from these great positions, right? And that's kind of what everyone has said is a lot of them. End up being the national TV guys, and they're I rarely catch my team, so now it's cool, but I'm still just here to work, So it's similar to the athletes get drafted in to have to play for a team that wasn't their team, you know what I mean? You still get fired up just to be a part of the job.
I don't feel bad for hockey cameramen because they're pretty safe, right? The puck's not going to hit you. Nobody's going to skate into you. The hardest it might be is you might be up on the plexiglass and it'll get shaken a little. You know what I mean? Because now even the puck's not going through the glass anymore, right? Back in the 90s, you'd see that. It's danger. But football and basketball cameramen, unfortunately, somebody's making a play and they're coming out, and then all of a sudden the cameraman gets wiped out. Or even I remember Rodman kicking that one cameraman in the junk there. So, I mean, you're taking some real risks depending on where you're at.
Rodman was flirting at that point. Just looked aggressive.
So, have you had any issues like that when you were doing any of your filming? Or
I think I've had some guys fall right next to me and stuff like that. And then here recently, I was out doing a drag race, and even though you're behind a concrete barrier, when that car comes bailing at you at 90 something miles an hour, you're it's hard to not
my favorite thing to do is go into a Mariners game and sitting behind home plate and watching a foul tip come into the screen and just watching people dive out of the way, even though that net's in the way. Your mind can't control there's barriers that are in the place to protect you. In the heat of the moment, an unexpected throw like that, you're not gonna get, you're in there.
Do you ever know, if you ever look at your videos after the fact, do you ever know what was used, what was used by you that you shot?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
so that's that you've seen the angle the entire time, right? So you can probably tell when you see it.
Right. Well, there's two different aspects that I've been in. So I've been in live production where you're on there's tallies and stuff like that where you're live. But then I've also been in, post stuff where it's online or whatever after the fact, or I've edited it. You obviously know what's making it.
Right.
That's gotta be cool to be seeing that. And it's just like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked. I see even like other, companies will use your stuff like for commercials or whatever. Like we've worked with Goodyear and some of my stuff's been on. So that's cool. And
have you seen your stuff on Sportsnet?
No,
that's not Sportsnet. Yeah, Sports.
Real quick, have you watched Sportsnet before?
I've heard of it. I did a couple games in Toronto last year, and I flipped it on, and I said, this is different. I don't know about this.
It's ESPN Light, just like everything Canadian.
Well, no, Sportsnet.
It's familiar, but it's not.
But you know,
it's like when you buy knockoff clothes, where you're like, oh, it's almost there.
the funny what do you take? Sportsnet is a guy down in Times Square selling you some Fuji, Rolex.
It's probably like you could probably compare maybe right. Maybe it's Rich Paul, right, selling jerseys out of a trunk. Every once in a while, you'll get it.
Listen, Buck Martinez, who is the Blue Jays commentary, play-by-play guy. He was in the World Series this year and last year because he's got a great voice. He was an ex-back catcher.
Did you not hear what I just said?
Say back catcher? No, what you just
I just said that sometimes they hit it big.
Sorry. I just heard that we're just selling T-shirts in the back seats here.
Yeah, and now look, I don't know what his percentage is on LeBron's deal and AD's deal, but I mean that was real money. I mean, it's early in the morning to do math, but I don't know what 190 plus 85 is, but I bet it's
Oh man,
$1 million,
and that's just two of his guys.
This last week he just locked in those two deals, and if his cut's only 3%, that's still real money that dude made. So, congratulations!
Jumped in my head. Who does this guy think he is? Calling out LeBron James, saying that he's going to knock him out faster than Jake Paul did at Nate Robinson. Like, you have nothing to entice this guy to come in to the octagon with you. If anything, I would pay money to see a game of 21 between LeBron James and Colby Covington before I see a boxing match of that. What's this guy thinking?
I would just pay to see him in a parking garage.
Playing?
There you go.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I just want to see him square up in a parking garage because that's the thing, right? Like at one point in my life, Chris Lieben was around in my town. He was dating a girl from here, and he showed up at a party of ours, and my buddy Steve, we call him Little Steve, but he's all 6'2", 310 pounds. He was a lineman for a while, and he just has he's just a real fun guy. Like he was at 17, he would go on, he was like our enforcer. And so he would fight parents in the stands of basketball games. He was that kind of guy. And so those two got into it, and they started slapboxing, and Lieben thought he was going to do something, and Steve would have killed him.
Yeah.
Chris Lieben's a dangerous man, right? Like, I mean, sure, he could have punched him and done something, but Steve's not someone to be messed with. And I feel like LeBron's the same way. He's got, big as LeBron is, Kobe Covington, he's not that big. He's not going to
he's not that big. But Jake Paul isn't that big.
If they fight with rules, then he's got a great chance, right? But I'm talking about in a parking garage.
Yeah. Because, like, if you had to look at that fight with Nate Robinson and Jake Paul, I mean, Jake Paul already had 2 fights. Nate Robinson is phenomenal athlete. He looked like. You knew he never boxed a day in his life. Of course he's getting knocked out. So to put Colby Covington saying, let's go box, it's like, dude, you just sound like a bully now.
Watch Nate Robinson's first 30 seconds of that fight, and it looks like a fight at half court.
It's just very sad.
That's what Nate knows.
Yeah. Well, I think that a lot of these guys just feed off of LeBron. I think that's just clickbait. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because he just got $84 million for extension. He's got I don't know how many different apps and everything about meditation and all this stuff. This guy's making money hand over fist. He doesn't need your chump change.
I think this contract puts him at $250 million just in NBA money.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Nuts. That's
or
nuts.
It's like 230 or something like that. Which is, that's real money, but that's not. It's if he's anything like Michael was, and he probably is, he's going to make more money off the court than he is on the court.
Yeah. I mean, didn't he sign the Nike deal? $1 billion or something.
He's got that lifetime Nike deal. He's got all those production companies. I mean, he's got so much going.
I don't know. Colby Covington, I just think he's just trying to make a name. That's that. He's just saying the most, I don't know, completely out of touch things like like he just sounds like a dummy, I guess is what I'm trying
But
to
it's working because look, here are these two dummies from this podcast talking about him. So
because he irritates me. I don't
I
know.
know.
You are right though. You are right, Brad.
Is that going to become a thing where you start twisting your mustache when you're talking? Is that
Eventually, like
never shave that thing off?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So
what's your favorite sport, Jeremy, to videograph? Like where if you could pick one, what is it to be a part of?
I guess at this point I'd say basketball, just because it's kind of nonstop. You're always looking for something cool to shoot or whatever, and
where do you usually get a position? I don't know how that works. Like I've always wondered that, like the baseline guy versus they'll have like the guy on the sideline on the little roller cart sliding up and down, or guys up on the upper deck a little, on the 100 level. Like where do you how does that break apart from like a whatever, like a schedule or an assignment issue? How does that work for you guys?
Yeah, so towards the end, I stopped doing a lot of live stuff, so I was all like digital and roaming around and doing a lot of website stuff. But the guys, they just have their set positions. Once somebody shows that they can handle that on the court responsibility, they're kind of just stuck there, unfortunately. But I tell you what, it's a lot of hardworking, like really good guys who people don't realize it, man. It's like 16 hours for an event. You're there really early in the morning to set up and stuff like that, and you don't leave until the game's well over. So
yeah, I remember I figured that out a couple of years ago. Up here, the MLS has a Sounders team up here, and they play across the street from the Mariners, and so they'll do these double day deals where you can go to a Mariners game early, and then that game gets out, and they have like the Seattle statute says there has to be 3 hours between games or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so we were able to break out of there, and we snuck in this back door of Central League Field to go see the Sounders game, and they were already like working sideline stuff and setting it all together. And then I was, in one of the breaks, I was talking to the guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been here for about 7 hours already." I was like, "Yeah, man, like that's
yeah."
And it was just like for the local Fox affiliate. It wasn't like it was even, whatever. And so,
right.
The amount of work that goes into it.
Right. The bigger events, it's even longer. The World Series, you're there at 7 a.m. and the game doesn't start till 8. It's crazy.
Yeah.
This guy still talk about Sounders here. Yeah, you guys are in the conference finals, aren't you?
Well, we didn't get knocked out or have our coach get fired, so we're still.
I don't even know why they fired him, man. That's unbelievable.
Because he can't win.
He can't win. What are you talking about? They went to 3 MLS Cups, and you guys are the bane of the existence. I hope Minnesota takes you out. I don't know. Is that wrong? Yeah, that might be.
Man, you are just so salty today.
I know.
You're upset at Jeremy for his team going to the World Series, and you're upset at me for things you don't even care about soccer.
I know. That's the worst part. You guys here in Seattle. I don't know. I remember Andy. Andy used to walk around like, a big old Sounders fan, right? But I'm just there thinking to myself, it's like, man, Americans don't really, I'll never forget this, Jeremy. Americans don't really appreciate soccer, even though they're at the World Cup every time since they hosted it. And I don't think they really appreciate it. Meanwhile, you got people in Canada, they're crying. We just want to get better to get in there, and we can't even break in, right? But there's so many Europeans. I'm sure there's Europeans in America as well. There has.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But I think
you've been here.
Yeah, the MLS is a joke, though. To them, MLS is a joke. It's like a minor league,
Yeah, but you still had Mickey Rooney come over there. Zoltan came over there. Beckham came over.
Sean, you're going to hate this, but the MLS is the CFL of soccer.
Yeah. Listen, I don't disagree with you.
Because all the names you're naming off weren't in their prime when they came over.
Beyond
that. Oh, yeah. Well beyond. Yeah, well beyond it.
But I mean, the thing is, though, it's still something for North America, and why not, right? Yeah. But yeah, okay. I'll go along with you, Brad. This is the CFL of soccer.
It is. I'm still a fan. It is what it is. You just got to know.
Your Columbus Crew is in there, right, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Oh, you knew this, okay? Because
I do know that.
Jeremy, do you know that Ohio has a hockey team? That's always Sean's question of the day.
That is my question.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've done a few Monsters games. And because of the Monsters, I got to actually stand next to the real Stanley Cup, which was pretty cool.
That is
the
cool.
Monsters.
Yeah, that's what they're called, the Cleveland Monsters.
Oh, Cleveland. Okay, you're talking about like an AHL team there?
Yeah, it's the Blue Jackets affiliate. Yeah.
Affiliate. Okay. Yeah.
Am I wrong? What is there
No,
another one?
No. I was wondering if you knew about the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But it's so funny that you're mentioning the AHL
further than
team.
Sean expected you to do, and so now
he's like, wait a minute, Cleveland Monsters.
Yeah.
I know hockey, but not that well.
No. I knew who the Cleveland Monsters were. I'm just there going, why are you mentioning the Monsters over an NHL team? But then I was impressed that you knew an AHL team. So it's
how do you not have a Cleveland Monsters jersey, Sean? That's what I want to know.
Because I'm a Leafs, and listen, Buffalo Sabres, I did end up getting that jersey.
I know, but listen, it's not even the same league, man. You can support this AHL team.
I can. Yeah, you're right.
Wear a Cleveland Steamer shirt. You should be able to wear a damn Cleveland Monster shirt.
Yeah. I also have hey, easy. I also have the great Jim Brown's jersey there as well. So
yeah, there you go. That's the one Browns jersey to get.
It's the only jersey I won't make fun of. But Sean.
Really cool guy. I got to meet him once at like a training camp, and just down to earth guy. He was really cool.
That's interesting, right? To meet some of those older guys. I've been able to meet Warren Moon a couple times, and he's kind of the same way. Like those guys just carry themselves a little bit differently. Not that they're the same atmosphere, right? John Brown is a level above Warren Moon, but just from like a Hall of Fame. Steve Largent was the same way. Walter Jones. Walter Jones is a videographer for the Seattle Sounders now. I don't know if you knew that.
No kidding. The lineman, right?
Yeah, big old Walter Jones. Like big old
kidding.
6'5", still 300 pounds. Walter Jones is just up and down the sideline
videoing
at the Sounders, and so we've talked to him a couple times, and like those dudes are just so cool, right? You understand why it's like there's a talent level that I'm sure that they have, but like they just have whatever it is. They're just so easy, you know.
Right. I was around a lot of Cavs legends, and they're all the same way. I mean, even if they weren't like a big deal in the NBA perspective, but just really good guys. Yeah. It's just a different time, I think. You know what I mean? It's totally different than players now.
What was it like? Like, did you ever get a chance to speak to LeBron at all, or?
Yeah, but it's more like, hey man, how's it going? Whatever. Let's go over here and do this. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
You ever try to like get him to like get a little pound from him or something, or?
Yeah, we get that. And some guys are cooler than others, and they're the ones that throw it out there first. But
yeah. Who's the coolest person that you had a chance, besides LeBron James, that you had a chance to?
No, throw that out. Who's the coolest person you had a chance to interact with? That was like actually cool. Like not that like the highest, not the biggest name necessarily, but like who was like the coolest guy that you got to meet?
As far as his attitude, his personality.
Yeah.
I guess I'd probably say Larry Nance Jr. is pretty awesome. He's up there for me. I think he's just, you can tell that like his dad did the right thing, his mom did the right. Yeah, he's just a down to earth, really good guy. We talked about Man City a little bit, football. Yeah, just a really good guy. But there's a few. You know, Jay Crowder actually is a really cool guy. I like him a lot. Deli is cool. Matthew Dellavedova.
Yeah.
Kyle Korver. Yeah. So.
Kyle Korver just looks like he always rolled out of bed. He's just that kind of guy. Like I had teammates like him in high school. You know what I mean? Like they could just shoot the ball, but they didn't.
Didn't care
a lot
much.
of effort.
Not
a lot of not really warming up. Just kind of like the guy you hate because he's just always cashing from deep. But like, I mean, I'm sure he puts work in, right? I'm not saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did.
He just looks like the guys that don't put work in that can still cash 80% of their 3-point shots.
Mm-hmm.
That drives you crazy.
It's absolutely crazy, and it's only getting worse. Like some of these little guys just flick it up there. Whoop.
Did you guys? I mean, I'm so since my Seattle Sonics were stolen 12 years ago. The past 2 or 3 years, I've been able to make peace with it and become a Trailblazers fan just from proximity. But I hate the Trailblazers, old Trailblazers, but the new Trailblazers I'm all right with. And I only know that because I was at a game right before. I was actually at the game the day Kobe Bryant died. I was in Portland for a game, and I had made the decision that I was going to buy some Trailblazers gear. And I was walking down to the team store to go get some gear, and I saw Terry Porter in the hallway, and all this 90s anger just came flooding back, and I couldn't buy any gear. But all that to say, Dame Lillard was pulling up from half court on video this week. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it looks like he's shooting a free throw. Like, it's unbelievable how smooth that is. And like watching Dame live is, you know, second. I saw Michael play in Seattle in the mid '90s. I saw Kobe a handful of times when he was here. Those are 1 and 2 for me live to see play. LeBron's special watching that, but Dame for me is above LeBron. So
do you think that Portland
from watching live, just from watching live?
Yeah. More like entertaining. Yeah.
Just from a smoothness perspective. Like,
do you think Portland has a chance though coming up in the this upcoming NBA season there in the West, like coming out of there?
Chance to be second?
Anything?
They have a chance to be second.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't think so. I mean, I think if they would have did it at this point. Like, it's been so many years. Yeah.
Like now, Serge Ibaka just came onto the Clippers. I mean, I'm giving that one this season a write-off for the Clippers, but maybe they need another point guard, to be honest. But Toronto's going to feel that. No Serge Ibaka, no Marc Gasol. Toronto's going to feel that. We're going to drop in the East, and now you have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving coming out of there in the East. Brooklyn's going to be a powerhouse. Boston's developing. I don't know about the 76ers. Milwaukee, I bet you they're going to have to try to make a move or something there. But
the coaching changes are going to be what is interesting to me. Just from with the whole COVID thing and not being able to have a proper training camp, like that's going to be interesting.
That's basically what's happening now for all of the sports, though, is that there's not going to be any preseason. Like,
I just talking about when you switch over coaching staffs, though, like you put in a new system and all those things, you just don't get a lot of time. So,
right. I mean, I think that can be said even for Baker Mayfield. This guy's had so many coaches in his short career.
Yeah,
and just mess ups everybody. And look at the Cavs. Last year we had Beeline for a cup of coffee, and then now Bickerstaff's there, and it's weird, man. Coaches take the fall a lot, it seems.
Yeah, they're the turnover. They're the hinge point. It used to be the coaches were the guys that would hold through, right, and get a couple of runs out. But now there's so much money for the star players that it feels like they've got to hold them together.
Well, I don't even understand why Cleveland got rid of Fred Kitchen so quickly.
I do.
Just like, here you are. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Though.
The food bill was enormous when Freddie was.
Well, Stefanski looks like a big step up, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think just his sideline presence tells you the whole story.
Yeah.
I mean, he just looks like a guy in control, and I don't think Freddie had that.
As much as I hate Kyle Shanahan, I don't know what I hate 49er coaches, just I think on principle. But Stefanski gives me that same vibe, right? Like just always in control, very calculated, just the alpha of the alpha, in the best possible way, right? Just
right.
Knows
does it make you wonder then that this is the reason why Minnesota is doing so bad is because they lost their O-line coach, their offensive coordinator?
Yeah, I think so. I really do. I think you notice when that character leaves the building.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I know that Cleveland fans were just all over Stefanski, all over Baker Mayfield in the beginning part of the season there when you guys got blown up by Baltimore that first game. But the wheels have fallen off for Baltimore right now. They're still looking up.
Yeah, right. But it's the same thing that we just said about no real training camp, right? They were all set back a little bit.
Yeah,
you're seeing it. Just imagine what this year could have been like if you had a proper off season.
Yeah,
I mean, I think if you're in Cleveland, you got to be excited about what's coming.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, you are. But the typical cynical Cleveland fan is you're thinking, when's this other shoe going to drop, and we go back to one win.
Yeah, we have an episode 1, where it's a 0 saying condition to lose.
Yeah,
because as a Leaf fan,
first things we talked about.
Yeah, that was the first thing we talked about. You're just conditioned to lose. If you live in a certain city, you've seen it happen so much, you already see this happening. Like you already understand how the season is going to play out by about halfway through.
Yeah.
So if you start having any sort of hopes or dreams or aspirations, and then you just start seeing it's like about to go down.
I couldn't enjoy this Super Bowl victory over the Broncos until like the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Wow. They were destroying the Broncos.
I know.
Like, they're still scoring.
The other shoe. Like I just was waiting for like the most epic meltdown ever. Like we couldn't get away from it.
Yeah, I get it.
You just can't celebrate too early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a curse like theory going out there about the 97 World Series, I think it was, where the Indians were up, like going into the 8th inning or something like that, and they started to wheel out the champagne into the locker rooms. Yeah. And they're like, oh, no, you got to get this out of here. And then right away they lost. Like Mesa blows the game. It's crazy.
Yeah. Do you have any superstitions when you watch your teams play? Like, do you have to do a certain thing, or if you do something that doesn't work? We have a handful of them. I'm just curious if you have one.
I don't actually. I thought I would at this point. I think actually, shooting these teams and like being around them so much, it actually kills that sports diehard a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if I'm just envious or I feel sorry for you when I hear that. You know what I mean? It's like I see so many sports.
I mean, right. I can't tell you the last time I watched an NBA game like from home. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Maybe the 16 championship.
Well, you've been handling the shutdown much better than I have. I'll tell you that. I watched every NBA game for the first time in a decade.
Well, you're in your own group there because they were dying, man. There was like 40% down. Or something.
I know, but it was. I live out in Washington, and we were so locked down and tied up that like that's all I had was live sports. I couldn't leave my house. There was no other. There's no way around it, and so back to the Adam Silver NBA is better for me than the David Stern NBA because David Stern was part of I feel like stole my kid's childhood in some world. So
yeah, that stinks. I tell you what's the Sonics. I mean, they should be back. I don't get why they're not.
Well, that was I thought the deal with if Seattle can secure a stadium and a hockey team, that they'd be able to get a basketball team back.
Yeah, and that's what Silver has said, and that's just it remains to be seen. I would imagine once that stadium's done,
you have it. You have the Kraken coming.
Yeah,
starting.
It'll be done here in a month or so, and then this next NHL season will be them.
Yeah, and watch with the new ways you guys can draft now and everything because there's already 31 teams. You're going to have a automatic team ready to go to the Stanley Cup first season.
Yeah,
which just
like Vegas.
It drives me absolutely mad. Absolutely mad.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
I know a guy that was working for the Cavs, and then he took a job with Vegas, and then that season they win. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Well,
that would be.
They went to the finals and lost to Washington, which thank goodness. But what the heck?
Is that your? Is that like the pinnacle of your profession? Is to film the championship game, like deciding game? All the way through. Is that the height for you guys?
I think so. I don't know if it just becomes about money because you do get more money when you do the bigger stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty blessed. I consider myself blessed. I've done like an all-star game. I've done drafts. I've done the finals. I've done the World Series. So I feel like if I had to go back and do something totally different at this point, I'd be like content.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you film the last two finals there that Cleveland were in?
Just the 17, 18. So I was there I was there in Boston, and then we lost in Golden State, which was cool. I got to spend a week in Golden State, but we got
Wasn't that the year 2017, 2018? So we were 2015, 2016 got knocked out in the conference finals by you. Mm-hmm. And I think that very next year, every time we met you, you were knocking us out. That's all I remember. I think we were a second round meeting, and you knocked us out. And you did it again the year after.
It's because Toronto's the Detroit Pistons to LeBron's Cavaliers.
Hey, we won one. Man. We won one. That's all I could say, man. I'm just
glad. That's what a lot of Cleveland people say too. It's like, we won, we're good. let's hold on to that one. But the funny thing is football is still king. So even though we won a championship and all these people came in and did the parade thing and all that, if we won a Super Bowl, the Cleveland would burn to the ground.
It's fascinating to me the different spots because even my Cleveland friends or my Ohio friends is still Ohio State football above everything.
Really? I think it depends on where you're from because there's Ohio State fans up here in Northeast, but not like that. Not like that.
I have a buddy of mine who lives who is from Louisiana. He lives up here now, and he's a pretty decent Saints fan. But if it's LSU football, it's that above anything. Like he's missing weddings and birthdays and all that shit. Regular,
no kidding. Yeah, that's
LSU
crazy.
football game.
Yeah, the games are fast. The games are great. You're seeing the guys come up, but man, if you were to put them against an NFL team, they're going to get blown up. They're going to get blown up. You can't get away with plays like that. You can't get away with plays like that in the real league. You know, yeah, it's exciting to watch. It's no different. I mean, why do you think that there's a not parity there for the CHL and the NHL? It's because these guys are developing. You're going to see some cool plays. They're faster, but once you put them up against some professionals,
I'm just saying from a fandom perspective,
I know
that's boys ball.
They go crazy in certain areas of the states. They go crazy, and I just don't understand it. And it's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just naive, and that even goes for hockey as well. Like people go crazy.
Ohio State could beat a CFL team.
Oh, come on now.
That's
yeah,
tough.
I do.
I think so.
Yeah.
NFL probably no way, but CFL, yeah.
Yeah, I think that it would be an interesting game. And it's so funny, right? Because I always hear the arguments. It's like, well, if you're to put it in a CFL field with CFL rules, it might be a closer game. I disagree, because the thing is that you still have players that are faster, bigger, and stronger. And I don't care that the ball's a little bit different. You're looking at a good shellacking.
Yeah. The operative word there was a closer game.
Oh, is that what you said? Closer? Yeah.
Yeah, they're still losing, right? Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
It might be 49-20 or whatever your scoring system is, but
yeah,
they might get a rouge.
A rouge is different. Yeah.
Have some random ass score you can't get in the NFL.
You can't even get only in the CFL a rouge. Here's a rouge.
Well, I'm saying I don't know how it works, but
we have the 3 minute warning.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
That's different. Yeah. That's different. Does Johnny Manziel still play in the CFL?
Oh heck no, they got rid of his. But did I tell you? I've said it a few times on the podcast, but I went to go see his first game playing in the CFL. So he was not drafted. He was picked up. His contract was picked up by Hamilton, and he was a backup in Hamilton. Then they traded him to Montreal, and there was a huge press conference. Like, it was huge. It was the biggest. It was like a sellout game in Montreal. Montreal hasn't sold out in so long. And
what's the capacity of the stadium?
Well, it's like maybe 12,000. Yeah. It's yeah. All right, Brad. All right. We know it's a CFL. Anyway, so the jerseys were flying off the thing. And I was this close to going to buy one. I said, let me just see his first play. And his first play was a pick six. And it was it was a bad day for Johnny Manziel. And then he went to, what's that football thing that just happened that they started up, that startup company, not the XFL, but the one that just came before that. Brad, you might remember they were there for a hot minute. They were there for a hot minute, and then all of a sudden they just declared bankruptcy halfway through the season.
Yeah, I don't remember what the name was.
Yeah, and that was Johnny Manziel's last hurrah was over there. So I haven't heard hide a hair of him. He's never coming back to the CFL because he did something to piss somebody off. So,
well, you also aren't playing, so it may be hard to come back to the CFL.
Yeah, we aren't playing. Yeah. That's true.
Hey, speaking of guys that are playing, let's talk football this week.
Well, first off, I just wanted to get on to what everybody's thought about Russell Westbrook getting traded is.
Oh, well.
I think it actually might be a good fit, but I'm not sure. I think only because Bradley Beal doesn't need the ball as much as James Harden does. I don't think anybody's going to fit with James Harden, to be honest with you. Maybe like his own shoes. That's about it. But I think he can work out in Washington. I really do think he can. And the East is weak. I mean, outside of Milwaukee, I think he can be up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He puts them into playoff contention for sure.
Absolutely.
I personally hate him. I think he's a punk, but he just cries so much. God, he just drives me crazy. That whole bit of him. I mean, I understand that in Utah, those things shouldn't have been said, but still, man, he just always is engaging with the fans. And then he's just like a perpetuant 3-year-old. As soon as like something happens, he tries to get the security, or he just blusters. And
didn't he have a season where he was almost averaging a triple-double every game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he had a streak.
100%.
I think it was
Yeah.
kind of record-breaking streak of so many in a row.
So
Yeah.
to me, it's like this is a generational talent that's probably declining, but
Yeah, he is. He's not, as a basketball player, he's phenomenal. And watching him, he's explosive, he's athletic, he plays angry, he fills the stat sheet up, can't win by himself or with anyone else. That's the problem, right? Like he just doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. Whatever it is that gets you over the top as a champion, he doesn't have it.
He was offered to the Raptors last season during the off season, and we still didn't touch him because of it. We didn't want to get rid of Pascal Siakam, although now, Pascal's talking about how everything was affecting him, during.
Like you're just,
Well, it's so funny because, the puck. Why do you think they ended up I couldn't even believe, in the 60s, they were playing without a face mask, the goalies. It's just out there just taking the puck in the face.
It's always funny to me that they started wearing cups in the 1800s, and they didn't start wearing face masks and helmets until the late 1970s.
Priorities.
Exactly.
Hey, it's all good. We don't need these teeth.
No. If you have to give up one or the other, teeth every time.
Yeah, that's it. All
right, the other question we'd like to ask, and I want to get your opinion on, Jeremy, is would you rather tackle Derrick Henry or get hit by Khalil Mack?
Tackle Derrick Henry for sure.
Yes.
I should say try to tackle Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
He would probably step on my face, but
I feel like if you get Josh Norman, you can't go home to your kids and look him in the face, and so I would rather be tackled by Khalil Mack. But
okay. I think if you got tackled by Khalil Mack and a clean shot, you might not remember your kids. So
that's fine.
Okay. That's what I said too. I go, there's no way, there's nothing that's going to make me sit there and go, yeah, I want Khalil Mack to tackle me. I'd rather try to be the aggressor, even if I look.
I'd rather just brace and get hit than try to get that inflicted on me.
Oh, Brad, you're a braver man than me. I don't know. Because at least if I go fly.
I don't want you part of Derrick Henry.
Yeah, the Browns are going to find out tomorrow.
Oh, buddy. What a great segue, because I was just going into that. Oh.
What a throwback game, right? This game feels like a game from the 80s. It's going to be defensive rushing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The problem is the Browns secondary and third, second and third levels are terrible.
Yeah.
So if he gets past the D line, he can go for 300 yards easy.
You're getting your best player back, though, in Myles Garrett.
True.
Your best player is back. And, I don't know. Honestly, he's great at rushing the quarterback. I don't know what he's going to do with Derrick Henry, because Derrick Henry is slippery as well, right? So
right. Well, I think he's just a mountain, and and again, Myles being back is great, but he's back from COVID, which means he's not going to have the same lungs that he did before he left.
Yeah. His gas tank's going to be a little probably depleted, I would guess.
True. But here's the thing.
What's interesting about Derrick Henry, though, is that he's not most of his yards come deep in the second half. He just imposes.
People are exhausted from trying to tackle.
Yes, but that's crazy. No, that's not a normal running back line.
Yeah, right.
And even the other night in when they in that overtime game, I forget who they were playing, but they were in field goal range, but it was still from 30 yards out in overtime with the game on the line, and that dude just walked into the end zone. If those guys wanted no part of him, it's so crazy to me. Man.
But here's the thing.
I can't believe you guys would rather try to tackle that guy. That just blows my mind.
Chubb's got a little of that too. Chubb's got a little of that second half kind of wear you out.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. You have that amazing 1-2 punch in the running game there for the Browns now with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. So you just need and what has it been 2 games that Mayfield hasn't thrown a pick?
I think it's actually 3
games he hasn't thrown a pick. So he makes it a 4th, and he just manages the game properly. You don't need much. You just need 200 yards, really. Yeah.
I felt like OBJ getting hurt was the best thing for Baker Mayfield's season.
That's been the argument here since he went down. And even before that, all these national guys saying, "Hey, his stats are way better without him." They don't lie, but I think a talent like that, though, even if you're not throwing to him, it takes coverage away from other guys.
My position on it is that I think he tries to force the ball into OBJ, and then that's where he gets to. I think that if he could wrap his mind around just throwing him to him when he's open, I mean, he's probably always open, right? I guess because he's that talented, but just not pressing that ball in there, not farming it essentially, right? Man, they could do. I don't think the trade OBJ thing is any like that for me doesn't pass, right? But you got to keep that kid, but you just gotta get better about situational football.
That's it. Well, how many touchdowns does OBJ have as a Cleveland Brown right now?
As a Brown, I'm not sure. I think he had 2 this year, and Jarvis just caught his first one last week. Just
I know,
nuts.
that's so sad.
It's crazy.
That's the wildest one, right? Jarvis feels like he's just drawing so much of the defense. He's just opening it up for everybody else.
Right.
I still don't know how Baker Mayfield broke Andrew Luck's record that season in his rookie year. There, it's like for most passing touchdowns for a quarterback in a rookie season. Although I think now Justin Herbert's going to smash that.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, maybe they were just like thinking he was going to scramble more. I don't know. Maybe it's just the coverages,
Yeah, I don't know. But this game, to me, this is the biggest game.
Was that a Hugh Jackson led Browns team? Yeah,
I think so.
It was his first year. Yeah. And then Freddie Kitchens came in, and now Stefanski. Yeah. The amount of time they gave Jackson, I can't believe that. He had an 0-16. Hey, you're good enough to still coach our team.
Yeah. You're good. I know you only won 2 games in 3 years or whatever. I saw a funny meme that said it was like a picture of him, and it said, maybe it was my fault.
Hugh Jackson for me is the poster child for that. Not everyone's made to be a head coach. I think he's a great offensive coordinator, but
well,
he's just not. I don't think he can lead his way of a paper bag. I think we saw that. I mean, all I know of him behind anything is just watching Hard Knocks, right? So, but is even that, I feel like he's not just great at leadership. But
yeah. Well, to me, that's the biggest game of the week. I'm sorry, is the Cleveland Tennessee Titans game because there's so much on the line for that game for both teams. So
is that because you're scared the 49ers are going to beat you in Arizona?
What are you talking about?
Your Buffalo team playing?
No, Buffalo got that game. They got that game in the bag. They're not even playing in San Francisco. They're playing in Arizona. Exactly what you just said. They got that
crazy
game in the bag.
Happened in Arizona.
Whatever. 49ers, I don't even care about. Like, honestly, the 49ers, to hell with them. That's a strong word. To hell with you. Get out of here. I don't want to see the 49ers.
Are you not going to stay up late to watch that game?
Oh no, I'm it's gonna hurt, but yeah. See, it's 9:15 my time. That's when that game starts. Yeah, that's a late night, boys.
Just get your little nap in. You're fine.
Is that what I gotta do?
Yeah.
I gotta come in.
Usually I come in.
So here's what happens Mondays. Usually I work right till like 4, come back home. Then I'll try to cut some promos and stuff like that. And then we do the Monday Night Live. And then I'll go try to watch the game, and I'm just exhausted.
Yeah, a little power napping.
Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. Quick 20 minutes. That'll solve everything. Stay up till – because that game's going to 1 a.m.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know how you operated once you're able to go to the bar, but that's how it worked for me most nights was get off work, take a quick little 20, 30-minute power nap, and then good to go.
Yeah, but we're talking about like when you're in your 30s. Now I'm pushing 50 almost now. It's not like I'm there going, yeah.
Have you tried it? Try it. Take a little power nap.
Man, power nap, and all that buys me is an hour. Power nap buys me an hour. I don't know.
So you make halftime.
I don't know. Like Jeremy, I don't know. You have a few kids there. Brad's got a few kids.
Jeremy, how many kids you got?
3.
3? What are their ages?
11, 9, and 4.
Oh, you're all right then. You get halfway good sleep anymore.
Yeah, sometimes. My son is on this kick where he comes in every night. I don't know why. But...
Is he the 4-year-old?
Yeah.
I have 5 kids and my baby is 4 and she's in every night this past week and it's tough.
Yeah, it's so tough. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's rough when you start getting sleep and then you go back to not getting sleep. Like, man, that's just not.
She's also a regular on the show.
Nice.
You just saw her
earlier. She popped in just a minute ago.
Yeah. I saw her.
She's quite the regular. It's it's very cute.
She's a fire star, that's for sure.
All right. So
New Orleans, Atlanta, you think that Taysom Hill gets his first touchdown pass?
The very fact that he has 2 victories without a touchdown pass. I don't know. Atlanta rocked the Raiders last week.
Yeah.
Which is so weird to see.
Right?
Actually, that was weird.
Rocked
terrible.
them.
Terrible. I was playing my brother in fantasy football and had Derek Carr or David Carr, whichever of the Carr brothers it is.
One of them.
Whatever mascara king is, and
Is he wearing mascara? Because I was wondering that too. Because his eyes are so pronounced.
I don't know.
Which is fine. You want to wear mascara in the game. I mean, you're playing NFL. You're out there. I don't care. Wear mascara. But I was just wondering. I was like, is he wearing mascara?
He got me 3 points last week and cost me my game. So whatever.
Well, what were you expecting with a field goal for all your points? And against Atlanta, how does the Raiders drop that game?
I don't know. He'd been doing all right, and he didn't. So Atlanta's the wild card, right? I mean, that's what happens when you switch coaches midseason. You just never know how the team's going to respond. They apparently like Raheem Morris, right?
They're not making postseason though. They're just playing spoiler.
No.
They're just playing spoiler for everybody.
But they're competitive.
Yeah.
Ryan still looks like trash, but
I say that the Saints lose this one. I think the Falcons are going to beat them. That's what I say.
You know, we don't talk enough about is that there's 2 Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the NFL.
What's the second one?
New Orleans.
No, I know New Orleans.
I know New Orleans. What's
it's
the
Atlanta?
One?
Atlanta's the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Well, what about your crazy ass name there, Lumen Field?
I don't even know. I can't even defend it. It's stupid.
Lumen Field. It just happened.
You can't even get a good nickname for it.
It's not even central.
Like whatever.
Yeah, but it seems like you guys are naming all your stadiums and everything, all weirdo names.
It's all dumb tech shit. I can't get behind it.
I can't wait. I can't wait to name
It's all
it.
money.
Yeah. Name it Granola.
Money.
I know, but still, like, you gotta have a little bit of pride, Jeremy. That's the thing. The new hockey stadium is called the Climate Pledge Arena. Like, you think that's gonna fly? Like,
that's pretty rough.
Tough one.
But we went through it was a
Granola?
Jake forever for us, for the Indians.
Yeah.
And now it's Progressive Field, and it's like, what do we call it now? So.
Well, because Jacobs Field was like legendary, right? Everybody knew Jacobs Field, but then people got on board with Progressive Field. It's like okay, but Lumen Fields. Why aren't you guys you're a bunch of granola eaters out there? You should just call yourselves the granola eater.
No, listen. It's the Climate Pledge Arena. Just be quiet. What else do you need to know?
Unbelievable.
We have T-Mobile Park, which is gross because it used to be Safeco Field, so going like that was better. And then
is it not Safeco anymore?
No, it's T-Mobile Park.
What is going on in Seattle? What the heck?
They need those naming right dollars, I guess. Climate Pledge, T-Mobile, and Lumen. Sounds like a damn.
You guys just go join Greenpeace. How about the Greenpeace Arena?
Where we started at. They're a nonprofit. They don't want to pay for it.
I'm sorry, Tree Huggers Arena.
Yep.
Just call it CPA or something. I don't know.
Yep.
Man. Unbelievable. I bet you nobody wears underarm deodorant in Seattle.
Not nobody, but there's a decent part of the population that does not. I can tell you that. It also smells a lot like weed here all the time. So it's hard to tell who's not wearing deodorant and who's just smoking weed. It just feels like no one's doing shirt laundry. That's what it smells like.
So marijuana is legal up here, right, in Canada. And there's a grow op 10 minutes away from me. Up on the street, so you're driving into work and you just get hit with it. It's like, whoa.
I've become desensitized to all the billboard. I mean, it's been legal here for a couple of years, and there's just dispensaries and weed shops everywhere, and so it feels like normal. But then I go to a different state, and I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean?
Man.
Like the Midwest. The Midwest is a little more.
Well, Jeremy's there. Yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah, we're a little behind on that.
Well, I guess federally they're trying to make a move, so we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
Right.
Passed yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, weed's legal now, isn't it? Well, decriminalized.
Well, it's right. Well,
it's got to go. It's got to go one more step still. But
yeah.
it's on its way.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's what Canada did. Like, let's just think about this. At least 15 years before it became legalized, right? So decriminalization. So that's the way it has to go before it becomes completely illegal. So I don't know.
The first time I ever saw weed being smoked publicly was in Vancouver.
Yeah, but it was just decriminalized, and I'll never forget my wife. Oh my goodness, did I tell you about this story about Rush? No. So we went. I took her to go see Rush. Listen, I got a lot of great Joanna stories about rock concerts here, but let me tell you about this one here. So we went up to Vancouver. So this is 2011, and we're up there in Vancouver, and you can smell weed everywhere. Like it's just like smacking you in the face. And my wife, all of a sudden, Joanna, she looks at me and she goes, why does it smell like skunk here in Vancouver? I'm like, oh yeah, baby, that's an urban skunk. Then I had to explain that, because she told me that she's been around people that smoke marijuana. And I'm like, okay, listen, Cleveland doesn't count. It's not like nobody's ever sitting there going, man, I got this really good count from Cleveland. This stuff here, oh, it's gonna tear your eyeballs off. Nobody ever says that. Nobody. So yeah. So anyways, poor Joanna got her introduction to that there. Next week I'll tell you about Joanna and the Slayer concert.
Okay. I look forward to it. We'll see if you get there or not. But you might. All right.
I had to get that in there.
Detroit, Chicago tomorrow in Chicago.
Who cares?
I like these division matchup games. I think they're fun.
I think Chicago takes that one.
It's going to be good football, but I mean, honestly, who cares? Neither of these teams are making the postseason. This is just a game.
The game that I don't care about is Jacksonville, Minnesota. That feels like a waste of.
Yeah. The Jaguars and the Vikings. Yeah.
Yep.
Bengals, Dolphins is. I think Dolphins. So here's the thing: Dolphins are going to win that game and still have the gas against Buffalo. You know what I mean? Like making Buffalo have to win against San Fran. This is the way it looks to me.
I can't believe that you still think that Buffalo's a guaranteed over San Francisco.
Yes, they are. Yes. Listen, until it happens and then you can hold it in front of my face, I'm like
I wouldn't do it to you. You just do that to me. I wouldn't do it to you.
You're such an evolved person there, Brad. It's so nice. Jeremy, you see who I get to work with?
Yeah.
Really
it's
nice
funny.
guy.
It's back and forth. Yeah. It's good.
He's awesome.
It's work stuff.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he'll drop a bomb on you that you just did not see coming, and it's a haymaker, and then you're there.
Wouldn't it be interesting if the Jets beat Las Vegas this week?
Par for the course.
I wouldn't be shocked though. I think the Raiders are those kind of teams that could just be like, "What happened? You were 6-3."
They play down to everybody, right? And that seems to be. I mean, all the praise John Gruden gets. I think he's a great coach, but he doesn't win consistently.
Mm-hmm.
He must be great, like in a boardroom, right? He's got to be just the guy in the boardroom.
Well, he must be. How do you get away with trading Khalil Mack? That's your first move. You just left Monday Night Football. You come into like Vegas, Oakland then, and they go, we're going to trade our number one guy.
Man, if they gave you that $100 million that they are saying that they gave him, like you've got some.
I understand what enticed him. I do understand what enticed him to come over there. It's just that who went along with this?
What I'm saying is, if you're the leadership of the Raiders and your coach says that, and you just gave him $100 million, like you've got to buy in a little bit.
Yeah,
that's your number one player.
Those graphics that he got though, he didn't miss on those guys. Josh Jacobs is a stud, right? Abrams is a good safety.
Okay. How far the Raiders have made it in the postseason?
Farther than Khalil Mack's made it with the Chicago Bears.
Well, that's only because it's the Bears. It's Mitch Trubisky.
But they're not missing a pass rush in Oakland. They're not missing. The defensive line isn't terrible in Oakland.
Good point.
It's Nick Foles now, right? Not Trubisky. Is Trubisky playing?
Well, no, Trubisky's back because Foles is the last man and got.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Foles got.
He got. There's a reason why he is a glass man. It's sad.
I tell you though, I bet you the Eagles still probably wish they had him. As bad as Carson Wentz has been.
Heck yeah. Yeah. And now you got to start Jalen Hurts and you don't know what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And they're going into Green Bay. Does anyone think that game
no.
doesn't go Green Bay's way?
Is it going to go Green Bay's or not go Green
It will. I mean, do you think it won't? I don't think there's any way that Philly goes into Green Bay and wins.
No, they spank Philly hard. They spank them hard.
Has any quarterback done more with less receivers than Aaron Rodgers?
I'm trying to think.
I don't know. I think Peyton Manning's early years, I think he was kind of the ones that made Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I'll get on board.
I know I'll give Marvin Harrison a lot of credit. Yeah. He's got to catch the ball still, but I think a lot, those guys, remember who was the other little slot guy? Anthony Gonzalez. Oh, Anthony Gonzalez. Remember? I mean, he came out of Kansas State.
Yeah. There was one before that though. God, what was his name? What was that Colt? The other Colts receiver that was big for a while.
Oh my goodness!
See him. Why can't I think of who it was? It's gonna be really upsetting when we figure out who it is.
Right. We'll come back to that. I'll let you look that up, Brad. I wanted to talk about Colts Texans. This is real now. Texas could win this game and knock Indianapolis.
It's God bless it. It's Reggie Wayne, and I don't know how we could think of Reggie Wayne.
How in the world would we not? How did we not think that one up? Yeah, but okay. So besides that, all he has is Devontae Adams there.
I guess for me, it's like the Harrison Adams is a wash, right? For having number one.
Yeah.
But then you look at everyone else behind him. And I don't know. I mean, Peyton had Stokely, and I'm looking at the list. I'm cheating. Garcon a little bit. He had Gonzalez.
I forgot about Garcon.
Johnson for a while.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I think he's one of those quarterbacks that could make people.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Tom Brady. Tom Brady can do the same thing.
Yeah.
So what was the thing? Did this actually happen? Did Tom Brady actually admit that he can't read a defense?
I don't know that that's true.
This is something I heard that after the game that he admitted somewhere that I can't read a defense. I don't see any professional doing that. I don't think I'd buy that.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm starting to wonder about, is he a system quarterback and does he need Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick need, they're a symbiotic.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at the Patriots. You thought Cam Newton. I'm like, all right, they might not fall off, but man, they fell off. It's
fell off hard. Yeah. And Cam Newton is not even a terrible quarterback. This guy was an MVP, not even that many years removed.
Right.
So, those two need each other, and unfortunately, I don't know what Tom was thinking going over with Bruce Arians. And I start to wonder, is Tom soft? Is Tom soft? Does Tom want to be treated with kid gloves?
Yes.
Does he want people to say you're amazing? Tom, you're so great.
How many athletes?
The way
how many athletes are sponsored by
the way you threw that pick. I'm sorry. I'm just going on a rant here, Bray, because I don't like Tom Brady. I don't like him. I'm done.
How many quarterbacks have had penalties created for them like he has?
It's Tom.
Yeah.
I thought about that when I was watching him last week, and then he got hit, and he as he's falling, he's looking at the ref, and he was like as he's falling down. I'm like, what are you doing? God damn you, Uggs playing son of a bitch.
Wow. Anyways.
You think that Tom Brady has tried to have a cleat made out of Ugg boots? It's a serious question. I think the answer is yes.
Would they be comfortable?
Probably, but this is beside the point. I think if Uggs would have paid him money, he would have had a boot made out of, or a cleat made out of Ugg boots, and he would have worn them on field.
Do you think he's so happy he has a bye week this week?
No, I think he hates his life. I mean, would probably rather be playing football.
I don't know. This is the best slap in the face for that guy, man. The best. You made us Buffalo fans cry for many, over 2 decades. Over 2 decades. It's about time you get a taste of your own medicine. I don't know. Jeez.
I don't know about a taste of your own medicine because
he stinks. Stinks, and he needs Bill Belichick.
I think they're still in playoff contention for.
Yeah, they are. Plus, I mean,
of course they are, but they've lost. I mean,
they've
sorry,
lost.
Jeremy,
They've lost.
go ahead.
But they're still. I mean,
they still got all those Super Bowl rings. I guess you can always say that.
Yeah. Him and Bill Belichick. Yeah, together they are a superpower that cannot be defeated, unless you're a New York Giant. But that's their only kryptonite. Is New York
Jeremy,
Giants.
do you have one athlete or coach that you despise for no good reason?
Let me think about this. Coach, no.
You like Nick Saban?
Yeah, he's okay. I think Nick Saban is what he is. Like he's just the king, and he's been crowned the king, and he just believes it. I guess Steph Curry. I can't stand Steph Curry. I think he's fake. I think he's it's a big show, and he whines just as much as everybody else. And if you take away the 3-point shot, especially the deep one, like you're talking earlier, he can't drive with the basket. He'd get blocked every time.
The only person I've seen cry more than Steph Curry is Chris Paul. I don't like Chris Paul either, but whatever.
Yeah,
especially early Chris Paul. This new, old Chris Paul, he's better, I guess. But
man. So we touched on Jaguars, Vikings, Colts, Texans, which I think the Texans are going to beat the Colts, and Raiders, Jets. And you know what? That game, maybe Jets get their first victory. I don't know.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah. Adam Gase is so stinky. How does he have a job still?
I can't believe that he made it, that he beat Patricia to the unemployment, or didn't beat Patricia to the unemployment line.
Right? I know. He's like 0-11. Hey, that guy. Yeah.
I mean, Detroit's a dumpster fire, but shit. Like, have you seen the Jets?
Oh, man. The Jets are terrible and completely forgotten about. And Adam Gase is getting a pass here. And
if you're Trevor Lawrence, you go, oh God.
Well, didn't Trevor Lawrence already say he's not playing for the Jets? He already said that. If you draft me, I'm not playing for
he's
you.
Alluded to. I think if you're Trevor Lawrence, you're calling the Manning family and deciding how to get traded on draft.
That's a good point.
It's no different than I don't know. You guys are Americans, of course. Who am I asking? Are you guys going to remember this about the NHL back in 1990 when Eric Lindros was drafted by the Quebec Nordiques? No, you guys don't remember that. Anyways,
I don't even remember that team. I remember Eric Lindros, but
you don't remember the Quebec Nordiques?
No,
Nordique.
Oh, yeah. You could have given me a multiple choice question and said which one of these teams is one of them, and I would have guessed that was not the real.
Well, the Quebec Nordiques became the Colorado Avalanche. So you've heard of the Avalanche, and the Avalanche, their Stanley Cup runs were built off of that trade, built off of the Eric Lindros trade, because he ended up getting Ron Hextall, Peter Forsberg, and a couple other, I think a couple other talented players as well that came over. And Peter Forsberg ended up becoming a bigger player than Eric Lindros ever was. Yeah. And so it's
Lindros was that. Yeah. Lindros was a boomer bust guy that was a bust, right?
Complete bust. I mean, he still had 1,000 points. I mean, you can't say complete bust. He still had a good season, good career.
Yeah.
But
the hype, he never lived up to the hype, right? The pressure got him. If he hadn't been hyped out, he would have been a real solid player, but it never got that.
6'4", 240. He was supposed to be a stud, right? And then they were predicting this guy was going to break the 100-goal barrier. They were predicting this guy was going to break every record that Gretzky had, because it was this guy's a physical specimen that's huge, but can skate super fast. Problem was, Eric Lindros, whenever he had the puck, never learned how to skate with his head up, always skated with his head down. And that's why he became super concussion prone, because if you're skating with your head down, somebody comes up. And now this is the thing, is that in this day and age in hockey, you can't do these hits where the shoulder hit the head. But back then, that was a legal hit. And you saw him get dummied over and over and over again. So it became a bust because the poor guy was just concussed so severely so many times, But that's something that you should be learning in minor hockey, how to skate with your head up. And I'm sorry, I mean, Eric Lindros still made it to the NHL, made it to the pinnacle, made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, won an MVP. So who am I to say? But that's my 2 cents.
Has anyone carried expectation better than LeBron James? Because we know a bunch of guys that haven't, right? But LeBron seems to be the one that made it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I guess
Sidney
so.
Crosby, 3 Stanley Cups. You can't
Say Mason Crosby?
What's that?
Mason Crosby, is that what you said?
Sidney Crosby.
Oh, Sidney?
Yeah.
Well, Sidney Crosby.
Have you ever heard of him? You ever heard of him, Brad?
I have. He plays for the Penguins. He was a high draft pick. He's pretty good. His name is still Sidney, so I feel like he was already had an advantage on being tough because he's been getting beat up since he was 3. So,
but he reminds me of Tom Brady in that way, where he complains to the refs for everything. Like,
is he also married to a supermodel and has a baby mama that's a Hollywood actress?
No, he's not in that same sort of level.
He's not the same.
Yeah, but oh my God.
Rams in Arizona is a game that's in Glendale. I mean, I didn't realize that Arizona was home this week. It'd be interesting to see how the field looks Monday night after it gets played on Sunday afternoon.
Right.
I think Rams run away with this one.
Yeah,
same here. Yeah, I think Cardinals already did their big win against Buffalo, and that was it. That was it. They did everything they could. That's it. They're done. Done.
Yeah.
And really, that just opens a big door for Seattle, doesn't it? Seattle Giants.
Yeah, Seattle's going to lose this game.
You think so? Danny Jones isn't bad.
I just feel like it.
Really?
Maybe reverse psychology a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just conditioned to it. Like, we're going to give it up to Colt McCoy. Like, Colt McCoy's going to come in and throw for 350 yards. And...
You guys are playing a Lumen Field.
None of those things help me, Sean.
You guys are playing a Lumen Field.
No, it doesn't help me. We play down.
Carlos Dunlap has showed up.
We're going to get
Jamal Adams has showed up. Your defense has actually looked better these past 2 games.
Yeah, I'll agree with all those things. Jason Garrett's going to outcoach Schottenheimer, and then it's going to be terrible. We're going to lose on like the last play of the game. It's going to be 35-33.
Nah.
I don't know. I got a feeling that Russell just goes off. And
I want to agree with you, Jeremy, but I'm just too like I can't do it.
No, I can't see that happening. I think the Seahawks win this one, and they win it by a good margin too. I do think that. Yeah.
Thanks for jinxing it. In reality, I think Seattle comes away and does well. The running game gets back on track. I think the defense plays well enough, and this might be the game that they build off of what they had in Philadelphia, because the defense really started to play well, albeit against a terrible Carson Wentz. But we get a not great Colt McCoy, and so that's the thing we know about football is momentum matters.
Yeah.
And so this might be where they start to build on it and see where it goes. But
I'm already calling Washington winning the NFC East with 6 wins. So Giants got to lose. So it's as simple as that.
Yeah. I don't know if any NFC East team wins this week.
No, not this week. Not this week. Not
or any week on the way out. I mean, Washington, Pittsburgh.
Giants are without Daniel Jones too, right?
Yeah. Daniel Jones is injured. Yeah.
I think Colt McCoy is going to shred the terrible Seattle secondary. So
then we got Patriots Chargers. Okay, we have Patriots Chargers.
I mean, I can't stop watching Justin Herbert. I think he's fascinating to watch.
He's the only thing that's fascinating in this game.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
That and Cam Newton's outfit. We'll see how it goes.
All right, so we talked about Packers Eagles, and I think this is the first time we're going to see Jalen Hurts play.
Maybe.
Are they still looking at Carson?
I don't know. I think he has so much money tied up in Carson Wentz. I don't know how you go away from him.
He's so terrible.
I saw that he apologized to the team or whatever, said all his fault.
Yeah, and it seemed to go over well. So maybe he gets one more run at it. I don't know.
I just don't know how you beat Aaron Rodgers.
You don't. You don't. I don't think the Jalen Hurts experiment starts until Philly is officially eliminated from playoff.
Well, how can you officially eliminate any of these junk teams from the playoffs? It's literally one game.
I don't know.
And they're technically in the hunt. Nobody wins this week.
Well, so. I mean, Doug Peterson's playing for his job too, right? At some point.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sad. You're 2 years removed from a Super Bowl and you got to defend your job because you have a crappy quarterback. That's crap. and half your team's injured. That's crap.
But that's the bigger part, right? But he was all on the Carson Wentz bandwagon for getting him that extension. So
whatever,
it's some responsibility.
You thought when you had a look at that season that you had your next coming here of a quarterback. So I would not be upset with this man. It's not his fault.
Carson Wentz was never that good.
No, yeah, but I mean, he
was in MVP contention. I mean,
that's right that year until he got injured.
But he wasn't. If you watch that, he just wasn't that good. It's the same as what's that guy that came in for 1 year when Brady was out, and then he got that mega deal to go to Kansas City.
There was Brian Hoyer. No,
he didn't. Hoyer. Hoyer did it 1 year.
Matt Castle.
Yeah, Matt Castle, right? Matt Castle had a real good year that year he started for New England.
Yeah. Yeah, but Matt Castle stank. Yeah. Didn't you guys give him a contract? Didn't you guys give him a contract there in Seattle?
Matt Castle? No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought they did.
He took it too. He was going to come down there and play for you guys. And then Russell Wilson said, "Get out of here."
No, that was the Green Bay guy.
That was Matt Flynn.
Matt Flynn.
Okay.
Matt
then
Flynn.
Castle went to Buffalo. Then it was one of them.
Kansas City paid Matt Castle that big money.
I know.
Where he went after that, I don't know. But Matt Flynn was the guy. Like he was the anointed starter going into training camp. That Russell Wilson beat the brakes off him in training camp. Yeah. That's the thing. I remember when Russell Wilson was drafted and no one got it. We all thought, here's another project, And we had a history of having smaller, scrambling quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
Seneca Wallace being, we figured that was probably Seneca's, he was going to be the gadget backup guy, right?
Right.
That's what we thought Russell was going to be. And then, comes out game one. I remember seeing him, went to training camp that year and watching Russell throw, and you're like, man, that guy can throw the deep ball like, shit. You could put like a 5-gallon bucket on the back of a golf cart and send down the road, and Russell could put that ball in that bucket. Like, that's what it felt like. It was incredibly impressive to watch. And then you just watch him come out and command the huddle and just run it. Remember after the second preseason game, we're all like, man, like this kid might be, and Matt Flynn just stunk too. Like that was the other part of it. Like,
man, but I don't know.
Here we are.
Yeah. There's a reason why you have so many. Here's the thing: is that in the quarterback position, there's really only a handful of guys that are like the man. You know what I mean? Like as far as you're that talent, you're going to be here for a long time. Nobody's questioning your job, anything like that. Anybody else, man, it just seems like it's a revolving door.
Like Josh Allen?
No, Josh Allen's safe. He's safe. That guy's safe, man. He's safe. You know what? If you have a look at his past 3 seasons, he's actually progressed there, Brad. I understand.
Yes.
His football IQ was really, I questioned it last year because it was just like, how do you lose to Houston like that? But this year, no, Buffalo got a good chance. Like any of those AFC teams, Cleveland got a good chance.
Yeah, I just don't think anybody gets past Kansas City.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill last week was blowing up all fantasy points and everything like that. 200 yards in the first quarter. I remember when I saw him catch a second touchdown there in the first quarter. He grabs the ball, gets out, and then all of a sudden goes backwards and decides to do a backflip in the end zone. I'm like, that little greasy. That's greasy, man.
They've got, and that's the thing. And that's the night game. And it's a terrible matchup. It's Denver, Kansas City.
Do you think that Denver has a real quarterback?
No.
Denver has a real quarterback this time?
Oh, yeah, I think so. They got fined, but yeah, they're back.
My favorite story coming out of all that, do you see what they're doing now with Blake Bortles? He's on their practice squad, and he's not allowed to attend practice because they don't want to be contract raced, and so he can come to the facility and get food during practice, so he doesn't see anybody else, and he has to go home and watch meetings on Zoom. He can't be around the team at all, just in case they have another situation like that. They could have a guy that's not,
Why are they reaching out to Colin Kaepernick at this point?
Yeah,
it can't be any worse than putting out a wide receiver for crying out loud.
I don't think that. He wouldn't have passed the COVID test. That was Saturday night.
Yeah,
that guy got picked up or whatever. But
this week that should be get rid of Blake Bortles.
I don't think that Colin Kaepernick wants a job that's not a starting job. I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants to come in and compete for one either. Like that's been my stance this entire time, is that he doesn't. That was the take that we all kind of felt when he came to Seattle to talk about the backup job.
It's just so sad that now that everybody's talking about like taking knees, okay, it's cool, you're fine, you know what I mean? Yeah. And the guy who started it, you should just come on out and compete, man. You never know. I understand that he feels, but it's been how many years since he's played a game? You need to compete. You can't just come in and take a job. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, I don't know where he's at with it, but that's my take on it is that, and maybe they haven't reached out. Maybe he is blackballed. I don't know the answer, but
I'm just saying it's better than putting out a wide receiver last week. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Listen, Denver did all of us a favor. We all now, no one can say, you've always got that one guy that feels like he could play quarterback in the NFL because he played a little bit of high school football. We all know now that you cannot.
You might complete one. Yes. That's it.
Yeah, that guy was 1 for 13 for 9.
Yeah.
That was terrible, man. That was terrible.
That's funny.
Yeah, I feel for the guy.
Casey's destroying Denver.
Just imagine if you were like, because he was like the 5th string guy, right? That's who that guy was. We should probably say his name. I don't know what his name is. Just like the Denver coaching staff didn't either. And just imagine if you're getting practice squad money and like your job is to kind of just hang out and stretch and throw a couple of footballs, and you're making decent money, right?
What are you talking about? He was 5th string. I don't even think he was even on the depth chart for quarterback.
He was
a wide receiver.
5th guy. He was the 5th guy, and they were converting him to wide receiver. But he played quarterback in college at Wake Forest.
Oh my gosh!
But just imagine you're not going to go into that week, and then all the way through even Friday, like you're just going along. You're not going to suit up. You're just going to be hanging out. You're going to collect your check and go home. And then on Saturday they call you like, "Hey man, like you got to come in and get some film. Like you're starting tomorrow. You got to call your mom. Like all those things. And then you throw one completion in front of your mom. Like no one wants that. That's a terrible story."
Jeremy, what would you have felt if you had a video game like that? And it's like you try to find something good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think you just grin and bear it. I guess you just hope the guy doesn't get hurt. Maybe. Right. I've done some pretty bad Kent State games where you're up there freezing. You're like, why am I out here? They can't even score a touchdown. Like, what am I doing?
You paid those dues, eh?
Denver did score the same amount of points against New Orleans that Tampa Bay did, though, so that kid can hang his hat on that.
There you go.
And then, of course, we have Washington football team against the Steelers, and I say the Steelers go 12-0.
Yeah. The second consecutive week, Pittsburgh's playing in the afternoon on a weekday.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me.
That game was garbage, though. That game against the Ravens was garbage.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I mean, there's like 4 picks or whatever in the first 10 minutes or something like that. 4 turnovers.
You knew it was going to be a slobber knocker for defense as far as those two teams are concerned. It didn't matter. You had all these people missing. It's a rivalry game, and these two teams hate each other. So I don't care. You have 5th string, whatever they're on defense. These guys, they don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Bud Dupree ACL tear is going to be bigger than most people think it's going to be. He's the heart of that defense in a lot of ways. Him and TJ Watt, right? But
right.
Well, that's it.
Losing him is going to be a bigger deal than.
That's 50% of that whole entire pass rush.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they come back from it. And then you don't want to make a prediction on this Buffalo San Francisco game. You don't. You got to score. What do you think the score is?
Come on, Jeremy. You won't hurt my feelings.
I think it's maybe I say 17-6 Buffalo.
Interesting.
Very. Right, who does Buffalo have coming back? Is Nate Peterman? Did I just say that? Wow. Is Jimmy Garoppolo coming back?
No.
Oh no, I just jinxed the team.
There's no George Kittle. There's no pre-Jimmy. None of those things. But they have last week, right? Debo's come back. Debo Samuel's come back.
Right.
Their running game seems to be back on track, and so they're not going to get their defensive back, right? I mean, or the defensive line isn't going to come back.
Niners won last week, though, right?
Yeah. they're moving forward. I'm nervous about San Francisco, to be honest with you. All the NFC West teams that are, in the hunt with Seattle, it's San Francisco is the one that makes me the most nervous.
Nah, San Francisco is about to get put over Buffalo's knees and going to get a good spanking that day. All right.
Buffalo's going to sweep the NFC West. Is that your?
No, we already lost to Arizona.
Oh, that's
that
right.
Can't happen. That can't happen. But we're definitely putting San Fran on there and we're smacking them. We're going to do you guys a favor. Something that you guys can't do. We're going to beat them for you.
Big Buffalo fan. Just like I was a big Buffalo fan when they played Arizona.
Quiet now.
I
You know what scared me is that there was two. Yeah, that week, but there was two Hail Marys that happened. So it was that one against Arizona where they converted in the end zone.
Yeah,
ticked me off. Then that one against the Chargers, and the Chargers freaking threw one down there, and I'm like, how is two Hail Mary passes in the last two games being completed against this defense? It's like, come on, boys, jeez. Yeah, we're beating them.
Dallas and Baltimore. You guys care about that game at all?
Which one?
Dallas and Baltimore.
Well, it's an important game for Baltimore. What do you think there, Jeremy?
Important game.
Oh, yeah. I hope they lose. I hope Baltimore loses for sure. But I don't know. I mean, Dalton is back, right?
No.
Dalton's been back for a while, though.
No, just last week, I think, or the week before. It's not been very long.
He won one game. He won
the Red Rifle.
The Red Rifle. Do you just call him the Red Rocket again?
Can't get by it.
I know you just want to call him the Red Rocket, and then all of a sudden you think about that dog.
I just can't, for the life of me, figure out why he can't complete balls to those receivers. I mean, Dallas has such a great receiving core, right? With those three receivers, like I don't know why they can't just get to it. I mean, I get the offensive line's banged up and all those things, but still, man, just put the guy in the shotgun and let that thing fly. Like,
listen, if Dak Prescott was still healthy, it's a different season for Dallas. But this,
you think so? Even with the offensive line being banged up, you think it's still the same?
Yeah. He was on pace for a great season there. This and I love Zeke because he's a Ohio State alumni, but man, he's having a bad season this year. Bad with a capital B. Jerry Jones hasn't showed up to a game yet, has he?
Yeah. He was one of the last ones sitting with a chair between him and his wife, like it was two dudes at a movie.
Yeah. Mike McCarthy, I wouldn't be surprised he gets let go at the end of this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of people here in Cleveland wanted him.
Yeah.
That's why I thought he was coming to Cleveland. Yeah.
Dodged a bullet. I think Cleveland should stay away from fat coaches. I think the fat coaches out of the way.
Oh man. You
know that Dak Prescott still has more yards this year than Sam Darnold?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, I guess he's missed some time.
That makes sense. That all makes sense. Did you guys hear about Habib Nurmagomedov there trying to start up a MMA company there and try to make it a feeder for the UFC?
Interesting.
I thought it was interesting too.
Are they all going to fight in Kazakhstan?
I don't know where they're fighting. Yeah. Oh. That would be something though. The only way you could compete is if you go do his training. You must wrestle bear. Come here. Let's show you how to wrestle bear, huh?
And you know that Jared Goff only has 7 less yards than Josh Allen this year?
Yeah, so they air it out, man. They air it out.
They can't score. He only has 16 touchdowns.
Well, well, Josh Allen's a few more, and he also has rushing touchdowns as well, Josh Allen. So,
I'm just saying, it's just.
Why do you hate Josh Allen so much?
Because you like him. It's just the thing.
Because I like him. Oh man. Okay. Do you have any one-on-one questions here? So usually, Jeremy, we do a one-on-one question.
I do. And you're not gonna like it, but I do.
All right. Let me hear this.
Do you ever think about how weird it is that you refer to your pets when they talk to you as daddy or mommy? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Do you ever call your pet, come here to daddy, or your spouse, but go see daddy to your dog?
Go see mommy? Weird? Yeah. No, How is this sports related?
It's not. None of these are ever sports related.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But it's weirder if you use your first name, though, right?
Well, I would never do that. So yeah, yeah, it is mommy. Yeah, go see mommy. Mommy will give you a treat.
Oh.
Meanwhile, it's like, so okay. So funny thing to add to that, just this morning, because the wife Joanna just loves to feed all the animals outside, like deers, squirrels, chipmunks, birds. And she has birds eating out of her hands, squirrels coming up and eating out of her hands. And so this morning, a squirrel came running up to the deck, looking around for a nut. She goes, "Oh, look, he's looking for a nut. He needs mommy to come out there." And I'm like, "Mommy?
Yep.
What, now you're mommy to the outside animals?" What?
She's got that Snow White vibe going on.
Oh, it's the weirdest thing. Sorry, Brad.
We just got a dog like in the last year, and I always thought it was weird, and then I caught myself doing it the other day, and I was like, God dang it.
That's because they become very quickly a member.
So
of your
gross,
family.
though. You think about it, it's just not right.
Is it? Because Daisy sleeps in bed with us, and she tries to get right up, like to my face on the pillow.
Yeah.
And the other day, Joanna was telling me, because I guess through the night she moves around, so she ends up moving onto Joanna's pillow and just dog drool on her pillow.
Yep. Jeremy, you guys have any pets?
Yeah, we got 3 cats and we got a dog. We definitely don't refer to them as babies or come to mom, come to dad. No, it's just like, come here. What are you? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So I tried to YouTube, and I caught it the other day, and I was like, well, it just feels weird when you're petting the dog, and it's just gross. Other people just do it. I always laugh at it, and then I caught myself doing it. And I felt dirty. I needed a shower.
I do it all the time, and I don't know why. And then I'll go, Dion, go see mommy. Daisy, go see mommy. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Weird.
All right, I got a question for you there, Brad.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. If there is to be, because now they're talking about, again, more questions about the NHL season coming up because of CBA agreements and everything, right? So the NHLPA is right now very much vocal about the NHL season, as far as payments, everything like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that the NHL can survive another lockout, another time? This would be like the 3rd time in 20 years or something like that the NHL has done this. It has gone 1, 2, 3. Man, no, I lied to you. This is going to be the 4th time then at that point. And twice they didn't even play a season, right? So
yeah, I think that they survive it. I think it is another detriment to their league. I think that no one gives a shit about that. Like fan wise, we just want to see the entertainment, and that maybe isn't the best way to look at it, but the best way to get fans is to play and to be competitive and have those things going. And it feels a lot like arguing over dimes instead of picking up dollars, really.
I will never forget when World Series of Poker ended up overtaking the NHL for a little bit, you know, and it made me sad because, and honestly, I've been upset ever since Gary Bettman has taken over the NHL as the commissioner. I wish he'd step down, move around. He's the longest serving commissioner in any sport right now. And
it feels like they make some money, but they're not. Like, they're always going to be mid-level managers. They're never going to get above it because they want to argue about the wrong things. They care about what their salary, like, you get guys that they can't progress professionally in the corporate world because they're too tied to what their salary is. They don't want to move. They don't want to take any risk and go anywhere. And that's what it feels like the NHL is. I think the NHL puts together a great package. Anytime I go watch live hockey events, they're fantastic. No one gets to see them because their marketing is terrible.
It is terrible.
There's no national game. None of that stuff matters. And they want the same deal that the teams in the leagues that have put in time and built a fan base, they want those same deals, and they're not going to get them. And so they don't go on TV. Like, they don't have any forward thinking.
Here's the way I think of it is that if you have a look at the NFL, right? And this is back in 1980s, when really television started like taking off with your Monday Night Football, Hank Williams Jr. singing your, Monday Night Football theme song, right? But it was still starting to take off at that point. You didn't have those big buku bucks from sponsors and everything like you have now, right? Mm-hmm. So the NFL paid their dues. They had scabs, they had lockdowns, they had all that stuff there. But they're professional enough now that if it's coming towards that, they seem to work it out that they need to play. They cannot afford to have a season off if you're making that kind of money, right? Yep. I don't know. What's your thought on this year, Jeremy? Because I mean, like, I have a hard time really sympathizing with some of these NHL players that are just having a hard time trying to come out and play 50 games in this COVID thing. I mean, you know, you need sports. I don't understand what the big thing is. Like the very fact that we're being held here going, is there going to be a hockey season? NBA's going, NFL's going. Like, is COVID changed it that much that you cannot play the NHL? I mean, what's your thought on this, Jeremy? I don't know.
Well, I kind of liken it to this last baseball season too, where those guys were complaining about 60 games and taking a pay cut. And you lose that everyday man where you're like, dude, you guys are complaining about millions when we have so many people on the unemployment line. And the NHL has definitely done a poor job of capitalizing on TV, I think. When they had that, remember they had those outside games for the Rangers?
Yep.
I think you really could have marketed that a lot better. Let's say you capitalize on New Year's Day or something, because you got Thanksgiving is football, you got Christmas Day, the NBA. They could capitalize on stuff like that, and I don't think they are. And then to bicker about money just makes it worse.
Here's what they did. They did have it just one game on New Year's Day, right? And then they played the outdoors, and it was huge. People loved it. Then all of a sudden you took something special like that, and then you made it, there's going to be 5 games throughout the year. So all over the place, you know what I mean? And it's just like some guy was sitting there thinking like, this day, you know, it's like, no, pick your days close in there, right? That this is the time period, and then do it. Or one, you know what I mean? One game until you have a good proven product on that, you know? And that's the thing. It's like, I understand some Americans have a hard time. My wife always complains you can't see the puck. Okay. I still don't think that you should sit there and put a blue line on the puck to show the puck going somewhere. Like, that's just sad, you know? But I honestly think as well that you should be able to get... Here's the thing. When you hear NHLers speak, it's a Canadian speaking. This guy's only played hockey, right? So, you know, it's a gooder. You know what I mean? Like, it's like crazy Canadian slang you're going to hear. But you still should be able to market these players. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but no, I mean, that doesn't go very far with me, because if it's entertaining, what you'll find is Americans will watch any of it, right? That's just the thing. We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care about the language or none of that shit. We care about it's competitive and how it's marketed, you know. And recently we've seen better vantage points of hockey. You know, I think it's easier than ever to follow, you know, just with the technology advancements and those things. It's easier to watch a game. It's not the commentary that's the turnoff. It's where, I mean, I can't tell you how hard it is to find hockey on TV here.
Right. It'd be like trying to get into, you know, football in Europe. Like, you just can't watch it.
Yeah, it's terrible. The only reason I can even watch hockey games here is because I still get the CBC channel because I'm so close to the border, and I watch the Connect games. Like, that's it. Yeah. Like, you know, you're not going to get it in Middle America. You're not finding hockey on, you know, and being able to watch a game like you can anything else. And that's the miss for me, right? Is that those markets haven't capitalized on that deal.
Well, it's like what I've been talking about with a few of my buddies there, is that hockey, unfortunately, is big in the Northeast, and then it loses itself somewhere going through the Midwest. And then you pick it back up again in California, you know. It's and California doesn't care. They don't care about their hockey teams. Just the same way Tampa doesn't care. I don't know.
Yeah, but California doesn't care about much, right? Even when the Lakers are winning, they're not showing up on time.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
They're on the streets a lot, right? But they're not, you know, they're not showing up.
I don't know. Maybe because
there's other things to do. It's Southern California. Have you been to Southern California? It's beautiful.
No, I haven't. I haven't been to Southern California. Is it really beautiful?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's pretty awesome.
Is there people defecating in the streets though? The way they try.
Not where you can see them. There's certain different neighborhoods for that. Probably charge admission.
They bus them all to Sacramento.
Yeah. It's a real thing. I don't know if they do that in other places, but on the West Coast for sure. Like we ship
Victoria. Yeah, Victoria, that happens. You have all this is a rumor, is that people from Edmonton and Calgary and all that, like Alberta, send them all off to Victoria, and that's why we have a huge homeless. Well,
it's a documented thing here that there's been city councils that have purchased one-way tickets to other places and walked around and passed them off and sent those people out. So that's a terrible thing to do.
Man, when I think about, so you remember, Bill and Mavis there, eh, Jeremy? So,
I've heard of them.
You heard of them, yeah. So they came to Victoria to come visit us, and we were walking along, showing them the area. And I go, look how beautiful this area, and this one homeless guy ran right by us, ran down the hill, in front of us, just pulled his pants down, started defecating right there, and it's just like. This is beautiful. Whoa. Victoria.
That would only happen to you, Sean. Like, look at this beautiful scenery. What is that?
Man, on that note, listen, guys.
We always close it on the crap joke from you. You know that's always always the way it goes.
It's kind of crappy. I don't know. It sounds like a shitty deal.
Can you say that in your Sean Connery voice?
It sounds like a shitty deal.
All right, with that, folks, episode closes. Thank you, Jeremy, for being here. We appreciate your insight. Thanks for spending some time with us this morning. I know it's busy these days, so thanks for being here.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, everyone else, and come back again. I think there's more we have to talk about. I think there's so much to unpack, so we'd love to have you back on if that's cool with you. So we'll set that up here in the future. Yeah. Everyone else, thanks for your support. Thanks to Flyers for being our official sponsor. We appreciate you guys for that. Old Biddy, thanks for keeping Sean going in this shutdown. Subscribe where you can. Facebook, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Until next time, see you guys. Peace.
Peace.
You've listened to the podcast, but now it's time to visit us in our virtual sports bar. Get all of our info at guysbeersports.com, where you can find all the ways to connect with us. Watch for live conversations with Brad and Sean that happen throughout the week, and join in with your favorite local beer. You can share your thoughts in the conversation comments with your own uploaded videos, or even join us as a guest live commentator. The GBS Virtual Sports Bar is open for business. Come on in, boys and girls.